And we're back with some more oxygen not included. And today we're going to be starting a new playthrough because the most recent patch has changed things quite a bit, added in a whole bunch more vents and geysers, and I want access to all of them, so that will require a restart. As well as that, it moves the planets around and does a few other things that makes things nicer and easier to use, and they're not expected to do any more updates until after Christmas, so at least I get a bit of a chance to stretch this all the way to the end game, hopefully, before they do any more updates. Now, there's going to be a few changes here, namely in how we roll dupes. The reason being, it's a very different game. It used to be you wanted to specialize your early ones to maximize their early gain, and then you could just keep throwing dupes on tops of dupes on tops of dupes to get things working. However, now we're going to want dupes that can be, well, more generalized. So we're going to be picking ones with a lot more skills, as in we're going to be going for the triple interests. Now, let me spin here for about 15 minutes and let's see what I can come up with. After 11 minutes of spinning, this is what I have managed to accomplish. What we're aiming for here is everyone wants supply and research. Literally all of my duplicants, my starting ones, I want them to have that, because everyone's going to get 2 points in supplying at some point, and I kind of want the researching because it's going to increase their learning skills or their skill leveling, and we're going to want to level these three up. These are going to become our core dupes for building up any planet we land on. We'll send over these three, and all three of them have their relevant skills. We have one digger, Motherload here, we have one rocketry person, Fruit Loops, and we have one operator here who'll be doing all our mechatronics, and they're the keymaker. What to call this colony, though? The colony shall be called the Lex. Alright, let's see what joys await us. Plug slugs. Oh, I'd forgotten, yeah, that's going to be one of those power things. Wow, so many fish. Why is there always that mountain of fish every time we start up now? I don't know what it is. Alright, let me get to grips with what's going on here. I'd forgotten how much of a mess this place is. It's just covered in polluted oxygen and all sorts of nastiness. But that's not a big deal. What we're going to do is immediately get into some water here so that we can get our toilets up and running. So things are going to go, well, a lot slower. The reason things are going to go a lot slower is none of our dupes are specialized in digging. Oh, all of our dupes are just average, I suppose, is what you want to say. I mean, okay, that's a bit of a darker way to put it, but they're not going to be very fast. I'm curious to see if we can get our normal bathrooms and bedrooms up and running in the short period of time you have in the first cycle. At the end of our first day, we've got a decent amount done. We actually got bathrooms up and running and bedrooms up and running. Even got the morale bonuses for them. We don't need them just yet, but it's nice to start with them. We're going to have a research station up tomorrow, though normally we could get the research station up straight away in the first cycle, but I think, yeah, our slower dupes are going to take a little bit longer. But the great thing about them is they're going to level up really well. It'll just, we'll have to be patient and wait a little time for them to get there. Oh, and yes, I'm turning off disinfect. I'm getting rid of that. Every game I turn off disinfect, though I think I've stopped mentioning it quite so often. And we're going to put our liquid tank down here. We're going to dump all our polluted water up until, well, that section there. We might dig that down a bit deeper as well to include this bit and take out that tasty cobalt ore. We're going to have Keymaker be the person who runs on that and also does our research. Yeah, we'll just go straight into meal prep. Done. I think what hurts the most from this new style of play is research. Science here is only 2 on Keymaker, which means they're not going to be nearly as fast. We used to have 9, 10, 12, all sorts of crazy numbers on our science person. This is just going to make things a little slower. Well, we'll see though. I mean, we won't really need any of the higher tech stuff, and normally you research stuff faster than you can use it, so I think we'll be fine, but it just will be a little bit different. Oh yes, I also forgot they don't have any dirt on this map. We don't have enough dirt to do research. We're going to need to get one of those spinners up and running, aren't we? Let's check the research. Sludge press. That's what we want. We want the sludge press. That's going to be absolutely essential for us. So we're going to cut research of meals and we're going to go straight into sludge. Namely because it allows us to turn all the mud on the map into clean water and dirt. And we need clean water and dirt to do our research and also a bunch of other things. So it seems like a good idea. We're going to throw down one of these sublimation stations so we can start producing oxygen. The air pressure is not bad. There's just so much off-gassing, but it would be nice to have just some sort of oxygen production up and running to ensure we maintain pressure. This tank, once it's done, will start draining all this water out of here and it'll give us access to all of this swamp chard. That swamp chard we're going to need desperately for calories. We're going through about 3,000 a cycle, which means we've got about 3 cycles left. So come on, dupes, hurry up and dig faster. This little tank down here is pretty much essential to make sure that you don't, well, like that you can get rid of all of this polluted water. I can't figure out any other way of dealing with it. Otherwise, you're just going to end up with everything mixing together. You can actually mix your polluted water and your clean water. You're able to, the pitcher pump can differentiate between the two so the duplicants can pick out whichever one they want. I prefer not to mix them if at all possible. I am really liking the look of that digger. I mean, this sort of makes up for all of that early choices we made. We could just take an absolutely monstrous digger right now, which, yes, we are. Please welcome Weaver to the team. I'm sure they'll do just fine. Nice. Oh, that means we're going to need another bed immediately. And, sort schedules as well at the same time. We'll move people about. We're going with the normal policy of keeping our main one empty and let everyone run on the other two. Just this way, when I forget to put people on a new schedule, they'll figure it out. What are you guys doing? That's the... Why would you sit there to eat? You know what? Who cares? Who cares? Let's dig this area out. If we do this right, we should be able to get all the fish to drop to the bottom of the map. And we also want all of that swamp chard. Jeez, there is a lot going through this section. Oh, we forgot to get the bed up in time. Looks like Weaver gets to sleep on the floor. Sorry, Weaver. You'll be fine. It's only one night. We'll get you a bedroom for tomorrow. We may have had some minor complications here. Some polluted water got in there. It started cracking these rock tiles. We had to dig some stuff up. Water has poured out. I don't know. It's a bit of a mess, but I think this is pretty much par for the course for the swamp biome. I can't really see any way of doing this cleanly. I'm glad to see fish have still got their same AI and they're learning how to jump. Where's the rest of them? Oh, we should probably move those eggs down. I think a quick storage container down here and we can move all of our fishies down. We'd hate to lose them considering the fact that they are just free meat. Well, they're free meat every so often. Oh, god damn it. Weaver just peed. Polluted mud got in the way of the doors of the toilets and yes, that did not go well. Oh well, we'll sort something out. We're going to make that a very high priority so that people can start using the bathrooms again. Oh god damn it. That means our entire polluted... Yeah, that polluted water is now just going to be contaminated forever. Oh well, we'll just have to learn to live with it. I think the largest part of the early game is just going to be spent trying to get all of this polluted water into one spot. This water tank here will probably have to be enlarged as well, if anything, the last one was anything to go by. But I think I will wait to enlarge it when we're tapping into this. Also, we have located our cool slush geyser. That, I want to find out how much resources that's going to give us. I also want to find our second water source. And we have also located the space biome. I do like that you can find stuff so quickly now. Alright, let's get this water consolidated, get our research completed. We still... Oh, wow. What's the research looking at? Yeah, we still have not completed the sludge press. Having a slow researcher, it makes things very different. And finally, we've got ourselves a sludge press. Where is it? Refinement. Sludge press. I think we might just place it up here somewhere. You know what? Right there is fine. We're going to have to run the water down here into this tank. I would like to get that polluted water out first. How do we manage that? To get the polluted water out, we're just going to, well, set up some bottle emptiers, and we'll set this to auto bottle, and or set it so that it'll auto bottle, and we'll take all the polluted water out of there and dump it down into our tank. It may be full of germs, and it may be disgusting, but it's our polluted, disgusting tank of germs. Now, next up is skills. Two of our pawns have upgraded. Well, Weaver already upgraded. They came with 1 point because we printed them out of the gate. Motherloader Digger can now get 1 point into digging. I think having two people who can dig is decent enough. And then we've got Keymaker here. They're going to end up being our mechatronics engineer. So I'm thinking we'll put them straight into improved carry. The first thing they want to get their hands on is mechatronics engineering, just because, well, that's one of those harder ones to get. And Fruit Loops here, well, we're not going to be getting them into rocket piling. They're probably going to be going straight into improved carrying, or we might end up putting them into research. I don't know. We'll find out when we get there. This is a new style for me to play, though I think we are going to be making extensive use of a gym in the near future. I don't like any of those dupes. No, water. We're going to go straight for the water. We don't need it, but we might as well. Down here, we're just finishing off our little mini water tank. This will just be water exclusively for science. And we're going to have the sludge press just dump into it. We're going to basically spin up some mud, produce dirt and water, and the dirt can be used for science, and the water can be used for research as well. It's a perfect little symbiotic relationship. Soon, all of this effort of getting a polluted water tank will be worth it, maybe? I don't know. It just makes life easier as you go on. I think we have our dog's body here. Look at that cooking skill. Perfect. We can get them straight into some good cooking. Well, has to be a dog's body. Can't be anything else. We'll print them out. That brings us up to 5. And, oh, yeah, we're going to need to get in another bedroom for them, aren't we? We have managed to complete our research in food. Where is it? Yep. And we've got ourselves some dining tables. I think, yeah, we're probably going to have to go straight into batteries. I would like some better batteries, then brute force refinement, and then advanced research. Let's keep this moving along. Down here, we're just going to finish off this liquid tank. That will be our primary polluted water storage for quite some time, though. Are we going to have to enlarge this even more? There seems like there's a lot of polluted water up there. That'll have to wait, though. We need to get some crops in. Our food is pretty low. We don't need anything too amazing, though. Quick setup of some bog buckets over here. Considering we have so much polluted water, I figure it's a good idea to just dump some of it into these immediately. Over here, we're smashing up some mud. The downside of this is the mud sometimes is so cold that the water comes out and breaks the pipes. It's an annoyance. But we've set up the tank just right. It should be good. And that is water sorted for a while. Alright, down here we'll submit a bioscan and we want to see what is in this location. Let's think... oh, neural vacillator. Come on, give us one of those. Yes. Who are we going to give that to? I think we kind of have to give it to... Bear with me on this one. Fruit Dupes is going to be our rocket pilot, and they're probably the one that's going to get into the most stress. So we'd like to get them a sunny disposition so they're less likely to get stressed. Now, with the plans I have for the future, hopefully they won't get stressed, but it'd be nice just to have this as an option. Alright, oh, let's see. New database entry discovered. Yep, that's great, whatever. Complete neural process. Stress minus 20%. That's okay. Sunny disposition was exactly what we were looking for, and that's exactly what we got. I have, yep, that's excellent. Alright, next up, calories. Yes, that's what we need to take care of. I'm going to run around and harvest as much of this swamp chard as we can find everywhere on the map. We need every single calorie we can get right now until our food crops start coming in. There's some more over there we're going to harvest, and then we're probably going to dig in over here. We also want to get a better look at this cool slush geyser and expand it out. We want to start collecting the water from that as soon as possible. That's renewable, and we'd like to just have a giant tank of that stuff. I figure while we're waiting on some crops to come in, we might as well expand this water tank some more. There's so much polluted water on this map. It's crazy. Rust, we don't really care about any of these. They all look... It's not that their skills are terrible, it's just I'm being a lot pickier now. Because of the smaller amount of populations you can support, it's just better to be pickier, I think. Before you could just ramp up to huge populations and not worry because there was generally enough water to, well, survive. Now, with only 2 renewable water sources, you've got to be a lot more selective. I think our water tank's big enough. We'll dig up here and drop all of that into it. Over here we're going to dig up a little bit as well. There's some hydrogen up here that's... I don't know where it came from, but we are probably going to vent some of that into space. It's just going to be an annoyance otherwise. It gives our dupes a negative to their athletics whenever they go near it. Their eyes get burny. Let's see if this one gets it. Nope, not yet. We'll move them up though. We'll crack open the top, force the gases out, and we're going to plant a few crops here. We want to get in some spindly grub fruit plants. The reason being these bug buckets just take too long to grow, and I'd like to diversify our food sources just early on anyway, until we've got ourselves sorted. Finally, after God knows how long of actually trying to do it, we've consolidated just about every scrap of polluted water in our starting biome. Ah, damn it. Okay, now we just got to consolidate a few other minor things, like getting maybe consolidate the clean water. Then, over here we're also going to expand our food crops into some of the spindle fruit. And we're letting the hydrogen at the top of the map. I don't really want it around, and the oxygen from the bottom is going to force it out, which will be quite handy for us. In the background, our research people have been hard at work, and we've managed to hammer out brute force refinement for the rock crusher and advanced research so we can get ourselves the supercomputer. I think next up, you know what, I want to show you something. Well, let's do the space program first, just so that we can get the solo spacefarer rocket. And where is the carbon dioxide engine? Yeah, the carbon dioxide engine is down here. We are going to grab the carbon dioxide engine, and we're going to grab the spacefarer module. I just want to demonstrate something. We won't use it, but it's one of those things you can do that's crazy in this current version of the game. Next duplicant choice, and it's a painful one. We've got Frankie here, who's +9 animal husbandry. Unfortunately, they've got critter aversion, which gives them a -3, meaning they're actually a +6 rancher. This one over here is +8 husbandry. Unfortunately, they're a mouth breather who consumes more oxygen. I'd prefer to keep our options open, so let's just not do that. Instead, we will take the grub fruit preserve. Calories are always good, but that was annoying. I really thought one of those would be good, but they just turned out to be so useless. Anyway, time to finish out some of this and do our research. Toilets are expanded on a little bit to deal with the extra capacity we've got. We've got 5 duplicants, and just having one extra toilet really does make a difference. At the same time, food's gone in there, and we're expanding out this tank here. This is going to be our clean water tank. It won't be nearly as large but as our polluted one, but we do need it for some of it. And plus, these sweetles look like they were about to drown, so I really wanted to release them out of there. That was going to be problematic otherwise. Okay, with all of that done though, skills, that was it. Weaver is our dedicated digger, so straight into digging level 2. Motherlode, you know what, you can go into digging level 2 as well. That will get them up as far as Abyssite. We don't care about diamond or obsidian. I think we'll get Weaver that far, but Motherlode can hold off on that for the time being. Keymaker, straight into improved carrying because they want to get Mechatronics Engineer. And Fruit Loops over here, we're actually going to get them into geographical analysis. The reason being, this will allow them to examine the vents and geysers, and I believe it allows them to activate the teleport units. It's either that or one of the other abilities. We'll figure it out soon enough. Oh, and with that water tank completed, I think it's time we open this up. We're going to do a little preparation work here for a little experiment, just to see if they've still left this bug in. To give this a try, we're going to need some refined metal. It's about 800 kilos, and we're going to make a rocket platform. How much have we got so far? We're up to 600 kilos, a couple more, 100 more kilos of cobalt. I even set up a second metal refinery just so we could get these up and running faster. Well, rock crusher. We'll smash up some metal in no time. Rocket platform is good to go. We had enough cobalt for it. Once that's done, we're going to see if we can't generate ourselves some infinite steel. We'll save the game beforehand, though. I don't really want to bug the game out just yet. The great thing about the basic rockets now is they don't actually require any refined metals, and you can sort of queue them all up at once. We're going to add a new module above this. You want the Solo Spacefarer nose cone. That will be fine. Give me both of those. Wow, I forgot how tiny this thing is. Now, the amazing thing about this capsule is when you deconstruct this capsule, everything that's in it pops out. So if we look at the interior here, if we built a bunch of stuff in here, say, out of iron ore, when we deconstruct this capsule, all the iron ore, it pops out when we deconstruct the capsule. However, this whole frame is made out of steel, you'll notice, all the way around. So if we, say, deconstruct this capsule, if we go back out again to, what's this place called? Stinking? Oh, God. If we deconstruct this, we don't just get back the resources we put into it. The whole frame they seem to have built in there sort of pops out as well. So we should end up with, there it is, a whole bunch of steel. Where's the new resources? New, 2.4 tons of steel. That's not all. We can just build it again. That's right, you can just keep rebuilding it and rebuilding it and rebuilding it. And you notice there's about, 200 kilos of cobalt ore. You get back all the resources you put in, plus you also get steel and diamond. Yeah, we just got a whole bunch of new resources there for no reason. 400 kilos of diamond, that was it. Excellent. That is, kind of gets rid of all that whole refinement process and all that stuff, doesn't it? But I think we'll roll back the game a little bit. That feels a little bit too much like cheating. Actually, wait. There's one more thing I want to show that's pretty cool you can do at the moment. If you're just looking for nice bugs that you can exploit to do fun stuff, there's a couple still in it that are kind of entertaining, and I would like to exploit if I wasn't doing a legit playthrough. The second bug that's kind of fun to take advantage of is you can go into the interior here, and while you cannot deconstruct these tiles, what you can, like, you can, there's technically all the space you could build in, it's just you're confined into this little location. What you can do is you can just build over tiles. And when you build over tiles like this, once they're finished being built, you can then deconstruct those tiles. So we'll replace these with sedimentary rock, and then if we deconstruct the sedimentary rock, we then have access to the outside. This allows you to basically, well, get rid of all of this junk and use this entire area to make a ginormous rocket that can do whatever you want. Your call. For example, let's just go boom. And yes, there you go. You have access to all of this open area. As well as that, this place, I believe, has access to the day and night cycle, so you can build solar panels and everything in here. It's mad. I saw a whole bunch of stuff on Reddit. It's, yeah, it's totally broken. Let's reload a previous save and maybe stop that whole thing from happening. That is a little bit too far, even for me. Next up, we are going to go for solar power. That is it. We want a decent power supply. The running on these manual generators is just horrendous. Trying to get all this research done, which such a small amount of electricity, is very frustrating, especially considering the research we're trying to get is what we need to resolve our electricity problems. So instead what we're going to do is use our diggers. We have a couple of good ones. We're going to dig in here and grab ourselves out a whole bunch of coal. There's a mass of the stuff right there. Where is it? There we go. Lots and lots of coal. We're going to take all of that, burn it in some coal generators, and that should cover our power needs, at least for a little while, just to tide us over until we get into solar. For the time being, our people are researching like crazy. We're having multiple people do research because, well, they all suck at it equally, so why not just let them all help out at sucking? A very simple power plan. We get a coal generator here, we hook it up to 5 batteries, and that will be our power grid. It should be good enough to tide us over until we get to solar, and we won't have to run on those manual generators so much. In fact, we might even put in a third science station just to speed things along. Our little base is a bit power hungry, I will give you that. We've got one electric grill. I've stopped using the sludge press for a while. We've got enough dirt to keep us going. We've got one supercomputer, one regular computer, and all of that combined is just dragging us down. But it's fine. We'll just add on more. Let's see, let's stick it in another research station somewhere. We even installed a fridge to stop our food from going off. It's just, there's too much polluted oxygen. There's no real way to save it. And it's going to be a while before we get automation and a mechatronics engineer to do some infinite vacuum storage. We could do some jerry-rig stuff, but I prefer not to. I think we can wait. Now, up here, we're about to get into doing solar. Our research should be almost completed. Well, we're a little bit away from that, but we might as well start our prep work. We're going to break up in here. We're going to lose a bit of oxygen doing it, and we don't really care that much. Though, okay, we've stuck an extra sublimation station down here to take care of that. We've got plenty of polluted dirt. 88 tons, we're swimming in oxygen right now. This little exit will be how we go out into space. I've found I used to do these liquid locks, but everyone was wiping their feet. It was slowing everything down. This way what they do is they just go out, this opens, and there's only one tile of space right here where the gas can get in and out. You lose so little, it's not really worth caring about. So that's sort of the mentality here. We are going to lay ourselves off a bunch of solar panels around here, along here, and we're going to use that to power our base. In fact, I think we're going to do a little transformer action up here. We'll have the solar power from space get dumped into a bunch of batteries, and then we'll have just a 1 kilowatt transformer here to make sure that we don't overdraw the power. And we can leave it up there for quite some time because this whole place is minus 60 degrees, so our batteries should stay nice and cool for a long time. Same way we placed them down here in the ice biome, but same sort of thing, just space-wise. Our base is a complete mess, and not nearly at all like we usually build things, but it works. And it's kind of nice to having to do new stuff and adapt. This way, we're going to have this solar that comes in. It's going to feed onto our power grid down here. Then we'll sever that there, and this will allow the power to flow down. At that point, we'll disconnect these. We'll disconnect this coal generator and get rid of all these batteries down here. That should mean we're completely solar powered. We're also going to want to go over here and deconstruct these glass tiles. We already deconstructed the ones over here, but once we grab those as well, that allows us to put in a few extra solar panels and make sure our power needs are completely met. Then, in the background, we'll be researching fire poles, is what I want to get hands on. And then next up, it was insulated tiles. The reason we need insulated tiles is we want to insulate in around these slush geysers and this cold slush geyser. We want to get on top of those much sooner than I did last time. We want to start tapping into those because they're our renewables. And, we want to get a fire pole in so that our people are able to get up and down a lot faster. This is taking forever otherwise. We are now 100% solar powered. The solar power comes down from there, gets dumped into these batteries where it'll hopefully keep us going during the night, and then it's regulated by this power transformer so we don't go over the 1 kilowatt. And down here we have disconnected these batteries and trucked them on the same way, just so that we don't waste the power. We didn't want to just deconstruct these batteries, but once these are empty, we'll demolish them. We don't need them anymore. And that should be us pretty sustainable in power, so long as we don't go too nuts on the power draw. I think, though, we're going to, we got to get over here once we've got insulated tiles, and we're going to use those to seal in that cool slush geyser and grab ourselves those glass window tiles. Oh, but not before we finally put down some deodorizers. Yes, deodorizers everywhere because that slimy oxygen is just really unpleasant to look at otherwise. I have been showing the gate printings because there's been nothing too interesting, but this new one looks very interesting. We have plus 12 animal husbandry. Now, they can't dig, or the undigging, which means they reduces their digging, and Luddite means they're terrible at machinery, but who cares? They can ranch like a monster. Please welcome Judy Hops. She keeps all of our critters under control. That brings us up to 6 duplicants. Do we need another table? No, I think we're good for the time being. In fact, our morale requirements are also pretty minuscule. As a little side project, I'm trying to switch over all the bog buckets to hydroponics farms, it saves on labour if we can pump the water in with an actual electric pump. Though I have to be really careful with these. I deleted one of these just as it had been harvested, or I deleted the tile, so I could get the seed back and put it into a hydroponics tile. Annoyingly, you can't place hydroponics over pre-existing farm tiles. So you have to deconstruct and then reconstruct them. However, the bog bucket seed dropped into the water. Not a big deal, right? No, it turns out fish eat them all now. I'd forgotten that. So the fish gobbled up the seed instantly, and it was like, I feel a bit dumb now. Got to be way more careful with your seeds. I'm pretty sure I lost a whole bunch of them early on to those. Yes, that was it. We are going to build a containment facility for this slush geyser. First water vent tamed. In fact, I think we are going to analyze that sucker and we'll make it a high priority. Ooh, and supply teleporter. Let's activate this and do the Flanders and ski pants thingy. Oh, wait, new printables. And let's see what we got going on here. Dear Lord, a plus 14 science. That is insane. Building impaired, bottomless stomach, and squeamish, but no, we don't need a scientist. We honestly don't. We No, wait a minute, let me rephrase that. We could do an awful lot of science faster, but we don't need to. In fact, we kind of want to get everyone a little bit of science experience. In fact, I don't think there's anything here worth taking. We'll take the dirt. Still a level 14 science. Oh, and we got to do down here as well. We got to tap into this, and at the same time, we're going to grab all of that iron ore. Let me see, how are we going to navigate down here? Once Fruit Loops here is finished analyzing this vent, we'll know exactly how much water we've got to deal with. We're going to use one for food. Well, we're going to combine them together, and we're going to use one for making us food and one for making us oxygen. And it'll tell us roughly how many dupes we can support without, any other things we show on top of that. Like, let's say we get into petroleum boiling or something like that. We'll be able to add on from there, but we'd like to say schedule for what we have now and then leave the future undecided for now. Then over here we've got the other activation point for the teleporter. I want to go over there and access it, namely to cut out the glass and get ready to activate it. We are not going to head over to the second planet just yet, though I will activate this one, simply to demonstrate the disturbingness of it. Oh wait, that's the less disturbing one. That looks like something from, Among Us. And now, maybe it's this one that's the disturbing one. Is it the teleporter? No, it has to be this one.
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
I think we've almost got enough done for a first episode. We've managed to tame this. Well, we're now storing their output at least. I think, not this episode, but next episode, we're going to start chucking this into an electrolyzer to make our oxygen off that. I have a plan. I know we haven't gone to the other planet yet, but I don't want to go to the other planet. I have something I'd like to try first before we go there. Not seeing anything I care too much about. When it comes to selecting dupes, what we have the three main dupes we started with, and they're going to be our invasion force. They'll go to a planet, rip it apart, and install what we need. All the other dupes are really just there to, well, they're support services or maintenance, as in after they've finished with the planet, we leave one or two dupes on it to actually, maintain it and keep it running. Like we've got an animal husbandry dupe here, Judy Hops. So Judy, she'll be taking care of all the animals. She won't be ever leaving this planet or going anywhere else. She will only stay here, and her only job will be to take care of the hatches we run and probably slicksters later on. So that's sort of why I've been very stringent about the dupes I pick. At the same time, I'm thinking we'll do one more thing here, because it's been really weird on this map. This has not been my normal build or methodology at all. For example, we're using a refrigerator that's plugged in. That's an actual powered refrigerator. Who does that this early on? Maybe late game, but early game? Not a chance. However, the reason being is it's all powered off solar. So since it's off solar and we've got a nice big battery bank up here, we don't have to care. We're actually able to run a fridge and multiple research stations. And because we can run multiple research stations, we don't even mind that our researchers are not really that great. We just say, hey, everyone, go research today. We'll have 3 researchers, and they can usually tear through a project pretty quickly. Which reminds me, our research tree should be looking quite well done. I've been going through knocking out all the bits and bobs just so that we're ready to get on to oxygen production next. Oh, and bathrooms. I should really have got bathrooms done this episode, totally blanked it. But I think one last thing we'll do is we'll put together a little bit of infinite food storage, but it won't be the same as our previous one. We're going to kind of tack it on here right beside the dining area. Let me see what kind of design we can come up with. The reason we've left it so late to get into this, skills. Keymaker here, they were just shy of the 1 point needed, so they've just gotten that recently. Like literally 26 XP ago was when they got it. Oh, actually, wait, no. I was way off. They got it ages ago. Okay, well, that means it takes them 9 morale to hold this, and as well as that, they get a whole bunch of morale. Where is it? They're getting plus 5 morale from all the interests they have, because we specifically picked them to have improved carry and operate. Just means their morale requirements are super low. Where's the other one? Motherload here. They're based in digging, but we haven't really done much else with them. I was kind of saving the points just in case we need them, but I think we'll grab them a couple of points in improved carry just to make them better. Weaver here, we'll just grab them a couple of points in that too. But yes, infinite food storage. That was the plan. And now the moment of truth. I think they should be able to access it from here, but let's double check. What I've taken is the swamp chard heart? Yeah, the swamp chard. So we'll grab the swamp chard, which they can still access, and we're going to throw it into the conveyor loader. Alright, that goes on to the line, then it should, yeah, get dumped in there. Now, can they still access it? Swamp chart. Yes, they can. Alright, perfect. So, yeah, they can pull it out of there. Alright, then we got to make sure that there's nowhere else this needs to go in the kitchen. So, we'll get rid of you. Actually, we're going to get rid of you first. Then, we'll move you all in a second. One moment. While we move everything into this new fridge. This is fairly straightforward. All of the cooked foods, frost buns, barbecue, all that stuff, that all gets stored into the conveyor loader, which dumps it into that little section there. All the non-cooked foods, as in the ones that are going to get cooked up, like bog jellies and raw fish, pacu fillets, nutrient bars, all that stuff, that all gets left in the fridge. So this should be our infinite food storage sorted. All we need to do now is get you some bleach stone to throw it in there, and we can decontaminate all the germs as well at the same time. But I think we'll cut it out there for the day. That worked out pretty well. Next up, we are going to build an oxygen production facility based off the saltwater geyser. Same as we kind of did in our first playthrough, but maybe hopefully a little bit smarter. We're going to run our food off this, and then we're going to start up a very intensive gym workout. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed and good luck.